He was nicknamed El Torito, the baby bull, for his refusal to back down. Hailing from Albuquerque, New Mexico, his fighting spirit blazed as intensely as the southwestern sun. Yet, like that sun descends beyond the horizon, his life sank slowly into an abyss that he couldn't rise up from. Tommy Cordova grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico as the sixth of 7 children. He displayed a fighting spirit from an early age, once defiantly challenging a teacher who attempted to discipline him by making him swallow a piece of gum near his desk. Frequent fights with his older brothers were part of his upbringing, and during one confrontation, his older brother Frank kicked him in the mouth, knocking out his front teeth. Yet it was horse racing, not fighting, that first drew Cordova's interest. As a jockey, he competed in races at McGee Park, located in the San Juan County Fairgrounds. A photograph of one of Cordova's victories was featured in the family home, a proud memento for the Cordova clan. "I got hurt more riding horses than I ever did as a fighter," Cordova said. But fate had a different path for him when he and his brother Ruben followed their older brother Frank to the gym at the Bareilles Community Center. Fred Fresquez, the resident boxing coach, recognized talent in all of the brothers. Ruben became a National Golden Gloves finalist, while Frank and Manuel had brief careers as professionals. However, only Tommy had the determination to continue in the sport. Frank and Ruben were good boxers, Tommy's father Joe said, but they didn't want to train. Manuel would train, but he had a heart murmur as a boy, so I advised him to quit. But Tommy was very dedicated. The reality was that Tommy's training habits were inconsistent at best. His father would instruct him and his brother Ruben to do road work, but instead they would often sit by a ditch for an hour before wetting their faces and hair. Upon returning home, they would pretend to be out of breath, successfully fooling their father. In 1979, the teenage Tommy married his girlfriend Jenny only 2 weeks after they met. While pursuing an amateur boxing career, Cordova amassed a collection of trophies filling 2 cases. He earned 3 nicknames, including El Marito and the Little Sledgehammer, before ultimately settling on El Torito, meaning the baby bull. He later decided to turn professional under the management of Jack Luce, the owner of a local printing company. Cordova won his first 9 pro fights, sometimes fighting 2 times in a month. In March of 1984, he lost a decision to Kenny Bazemore, a top-rated prospect. 3 months later, he was slated to face 39-fight veteran Freddie Roach for the vacant ESPN junior lightweight title. Roach had the reputation of being a billy goat, a fighter who could headbutt his way through a cinder block wall. Cordova, meanwhile, was more than willing to face his more experienced opponent head-on.
Early, good left hook by Roach. You see Steele saying no holding for Freddie Roach. He wants to hold on the inside against Cordova.
There was one thing about Roach in the fact that he is such a good counterpuncher. He kind of looked me square in the eye at the weigh-in and said, but look for me maybe to get a little bit more offense. I may just try to answer punch for punch with this guy. And if that be the case, wow, what a first.
He wants to try and back Tommy Cordova up. But Roach taking a lot of shots. And if there's a criticism to Freddie Roach, it's his defense. People feel he's not that good a defensive fighter. He is willing to fight on the inside. Right now, Cordova landing.
Both of them hitting with good left and rights. Fighting off the clinch there, both Roach and Cordova. Roach, by the way, has already fought once previously, trying to get the ESPN title, lost to Louis Burke, who later lost his title because he failed to defend that title with a lack of agreement.
And we are already seeing in this first round, they will stand there and fight with each other. Roach occasionally going backward, but he'll fight in the inside with Cordova, and they are both banging away.
Halfway through the first round. Junior lightweight championship here on ESPN. Roach again in the white, while Cordova is in the red.
And Cordova is doing a good job of covering up, though, on the inside when Roach goes to the body, and that's something we haven't always seen from Tommy Cordova. Will bend the rules a bit on the inside.
Roach is 24. Cordova is 21. You heard Roach fighting out of Las Vegas, originally from Massachusetts.
Hey, this is a great first round, folks. Good right by Cordova.
keep in mind their schedule goes 12. And they're just in the first round. Left and right by both fighters. As Roach goes down low, Cordova trying to come at the top, and Roach finally clinching it.
It's going to be a tough fight for Richard Steele. A lot of stuff going on the inside. Although he's trying, and there was Cordova hitting on the break, so this will be a tough one for Richard Steele. And Freddie Roach banging away on the inside, as is Cordova.
That right hand of Roach is powerful one. It's
big left by Roach. That one stunned Cordova.
The right
and that's news.
Cordova really jumping in. And again, Roach, as Al pointed out, the left really snuck in after he got him with the right first.
Nobody really believes that Freddie Roach can hurt Cordova. There's very few boxing people. But if he can hurt him and drive him back with that left hook, this could be Freddie Roach's fight, because Cordova does not fight going backwards well at all.
Cordova always trying to come at you. Roach, again, normally a counter fighter, but of course he has shown you here tonight that he is not going to wait for Cordova. He's going to come out and get his own offense, and he has done well so far as we're
here against Cordova. I guess he felt confident after doing that against Velasquez.
Oh, just toe-to-toe by both Roach and Cordova. Look at these two junior lightweights as they go after each other.
And Freddie is backing Cordova up. Look at this. Wow. They are wailing away on the inside. A lot of mauling. Richard Steele's having a talking to both fighters right now.
There is no love lost between these two camps, Al Bernstein.
There was a confrontation at the weigh-in when Freddie Roach was 3 1/4 pounds over, 3/4 of a pound, excuse me. They yelled at him, yeah, take it off from the Cordova camp. Well, Freddie Roach said, of course I have to take it off. It's a championship match. There was some expletives exchanged and a little shoving even, and so they went into this fight with some ill will.
And that, of course, was not even the fighters. That was the corner people talking.
That's right.
Now the two fighters have started away. Oh, good one. Richard Steele, you'll hear him throughout the bout. Oh, look at this toe-to-toe exchange. Cordova left and right. Roach answers with every punch for every punch. He gets it left and right, and Cordova, look at the hand speed.
And Roach holding on, and he is yelling to Richard Steele about the use of the heads, and there is a slight cut over the left eye of Freddie Roach, and he is angry. Good right by Roach. Freddie Roach has backed up Tommy Cordova. Most people didn't think he could do that, but Tommy continues to punch away.
Oh, what a night on Top Ring Boxing from Las Vegas.
Freddie was hurt, I think, by that right hand. He's backing up now.
He does not want to give right there because Cordova won't give up. He's on to regain his senses here. Look at Cordova coming in, a left-right. Roach catching a body punch or two.
Roach landed an overhand right. Cordova walked right through it. That's what Cordova's been so effective at doing against other fighters. Cordova ripping shots on the inside.
Halfway through round 3.
These are not easy rounds to judge, I'll tell you that.
We hope that you too are enjoying as much as Al Bernstein and yours truly, Sam Smith, are here tonight. This has been a pleasure to watch through 3 so far.
Roach very angry about Cordova using his head. Freddie knows how to use his head too. Good right by Cordova.
Left right hand by Cordova. Got inside on Roach. Roach not backing down. He's coming out in full bore though. Cordova still hits him with another right. That eye is starting to bleed more. Both fighters really at toe-to-toe. The crowd loves it here in Las Vegas.
Freddie Roach trying to go to the body of Cordova more than the head. He's leaving his head open by going down so low.
Tommy Cordova in the red. Freddie Roach in the white. Junior lightweights going for the ESPN championship tonight. Round 3, just as rounds 1 and 2 have been absolutely classics here tonight with 30 seconds to go in this 3rd round.
And Roach now uses his head as a weapon against Cordova. Boy, this fight is a clinic on inside fighting, and they're both doing it well, but that's Cordova's game. Let's see if Roach is playing into his hands.
15 seconds and less here as you see the time in your right-hand corner. We're going to have to take a breath. We'll take a break as well, as this is the end of round number 3. Great fight for the junior lightweights here in Las Vegas.
We've got Tommy Cordova. Well, I've got the fight dead even at 38-38. And I think I have to say I made a mistake in scoring one of those rounds. I'll have to go recheck my scorecard on this one, but I believe I may have scored one for Roach. I should have scored for Cordova.
Here in Las Vegas, Al, can you loan me a quarter? Bernstein checks over that scorecard here again. The retaliate was the 2 combatants, the junior lightweights.
Hey, you get so excited to fight like this, you make mistakes. You know how it is. I don't have my pocket calculator here.
Again, Richard Steele, the 3rd man in the ring, with about a minute 15 left to go here in the 5th round. Cordova continues to counter that left hand to set up that right, and he has followed him with that left right, as you saw there. Oh, good right hand by Roach. He mauls Cordova between the ropes. Cordova back into the rope. Richard Steele lets him fight. Now Roach just trying to push him into the rope.
Freddie Roach surprising with his power against Tommy Cordova. He hurt him.
Cordova not one to back up, and you see he just comes wading in for more. And they're toe-to-toe, and the crowd loves it here at the Showboat. The lightweights of Cordova and Roach, both landing with left-right combination. Center of the ring is a war zone here in the 5th round.
Hey, it may not be pretty, folks, but it's exciting. Wow, these guys are just wailing away.
Eddie Futch on one side, Bob Foster on the other. They on the edge of their stools, watching their two fighters. What do you tell them after 5? Wow. You see the time, closing in on 15 seconds to go in the 5th round. What a junior lightweight championship fight here on ESPN so far. Good right by Roach, slips in as we close in on the end of round 5. More in a moment.
They're coming back from some big punches.
Freddie Roach, even though he is backing and countering right now, has certainly changed the style that we have seen before. He waits for you. He counters, but tonight he has been very much an aggressor against a very aggressive and come every time Tommy Cordova. Cordova slipping some punches there nicely.
I tell you, that is the one part of his defensive work that he has improved a lot. Yes, Roach has landed a lot, but he slipped more than he usually does.
On bike and also runs the treadmill for about 30 minutes. Been doing that for the last 3 weeks and said he feels it has really helped him. And we'll find out as the duration of this fight goes on.
There's Cordova getting him on the rope, banging away to both the head and the body. That's what he wants to do.
You hear Richard Steele again. He has been in control of this fight here in the 7th.
Freddie Roach is 4 full pounds bigger than Tommy Cordova, and his upper body strength appears to equal of Cordova. He has been able to pull him around that ring.
Both of them continue just to left-right, trying to clinch inside Cordova. Once he gets in there, it's like a windmill. I mean, he just beats the heck out of him as much as he can, but Roach has tried to do as much damage as he can. There's a
lot of head work by Cordova on the inside. A warning by Richard Steele. Let's see if he takes a point away. Yes, a point is being taken away from Tommy Cordova.
Oh, that could be a big point, too. With this match extremely tight, and 1 point taken away from Cordova for a headbutt. That coming here in the 7th round.
And they complained before the fight that Roach used his head. That's what the Cordova people did, but it's their fighter who gets the point taken away, and that could be important because Cordova may be winning this round. So that would make it an even round.
So is Freddie Roach, again fighting out of Las Vegas. A New England-born fighter fighting Tommy Cordova out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, for the ESPN Junior Lightweight Championship. Eric Martin has already won 1 title here tonight with a welterweight title. And one of these fighters wants to join him in the winner's circle as a champion tonight. And look at Roach as he mauls him on the ropes. Closing moments of round 7 here. So is Roach, along with Tommy, for war against each other. The crowd settles into that infighting once again now.
The crowd here is chanting, Freddie. Freddie is a very popular fighter here, but he hasn't always been popular with the Las Vegas judges. He has lost some very close decisions here, and he thinks he's jinked. Hey, now he's in trouble. Cordova banging him on the rope.
Roach getting covered up, and Al Bernstein unofficially on your card. It looks very even, huh?
I've got the fight dead even at 66-66. The last round would have gone to Cordova because of the point taken away. It was a 9-9 round, so I have the fight absolutely even. Unorthodox and tough to deal with.
Eavesdropping on Eddie Futch a moment ago in Roach's corner. As you see him
big right.
Look at this. A left right by Roach. Has Cordova reeling backwards, but Tommy's not giving up as he still wades in for more. Both of them throwing wild left-right combinations, but Roach may have got the best of that.
I thought Cordova was hurt, but Tommy comes right back and lands a right to the head of Freddie Roach. How do you discourage Tommy Cordova? And we saw Jackson, who's a good puncher, hit Cordova with some tremendous shots. Boy, it's going to fight. Not much to analyze exactly.
Now, that's not to indicate that he won't take his check at the end of the month now, Fred.
Oh, look at Tommy Cordova. You see what Roach sees.
Again, you heard Bob Foster, a former light heavyweight champion, working with Cordova. He said, I know you can go 4 rounds. Get him with a jab, come with a hook. And Cordova
can punch with that much authority.
Look at the hand speed of Cordova off that break. He got the left right in. Roach answered with the left right of his own. They're just brawling with each other. Look at Cordova go like a windmill. Left, right. Roach comes back, hits him with the right, tries to throw a low left. It missed, but Cordova did some damage inside.
Tommy Cordova, literally a windmill. It's not a cliche when you say it with him because he never stops punching.
Whirling dervish, Tommy Cordova. Misses with the left. Cordova counters with the left uppercut of his own. It glanced off his shoulder.
Cordova has started to assert himself in the inside, but Freddie's landed big shots.
Roach getting Cordova back into the corner with a minute to go in round 9. Cordova trying to fight out of there with the left right. Roach just leaning with his shoulders, trying to keep him in, and Richard Steele's going to break it up.
In this instance, the fact that Richard Steele, who was himself a former light heavyweight fighter, is so much bigger than the two fighters is a real plus because it gives him the strength to deal with these two men.
Again, as close as this fight is being scored, 1-point deduction in the 7th round for a headbutt by Tommy Cordova could certainly loom very important before this one is over as we close in on the end of round 9.
Two tremendous counter shots from Roach. He lured Cordova in and landed those shots. It doesn't stop Cordova.
Roach just trying to hold him up to end the end of this round. And now it appears not only over the left eye, but now over the right eye. There is some blood on Cordova, and that'll have to be looked at closely as we come to the end of round number 9. The ESPN Junior Lightweight title is going to go to a great fighter tonight.
His landing for him, I don't think it's landing as well because his jab isn't there.
There's the left, right by Cordova. Roach throwing the one over the... Oh, Roach got caught with a big right flush in the face. But he tried to come back with a right and went wildly over the head of Cordova. He senses a little bit now, and he starts to come in. His blood starts to flow from both the left and now again the right eye of Tommy, Freddie Roach. Oh, big cut on the
bad cut over the right eye. Freddie Roach was hit with some big shots, but he came right back.
Again, Cordova now sensing a little.
And there's the uppercut from Cordova on the inside. He's got Roach in some trouble now. Let's see.
He sees those cuts and is going after him. Richard Steele breaking him up. Roach comes back. Cordova catches a left right on the face and right on that cut on the right eye of Freddie Roach, who fights right over the top of us right now. Richard Steele breaking it as Cordova tries to push him through the ropes. Big loss back in the 7th round with that headbutt. But look at Roach come back here in the 11th round.
Cordova's never been past the 10th round, but would you know it from looking at him in this 11th? Boy, he's been tough.
Never. Roach has been 12 rounds only once. He lost again in the first 5 for the ESPN Junior Lightweight, going to Louis Burke. Mauling, brawling, 11th round. Under 20 seconds. It appears we will go the distance in the 2nd championship fight of the night. As the final seconds of round 11 winds down. Look at him at the end of 11. Roach and Cordova, punch for punch so far. And very important man as he gets him to touch gloves as both race to the center of the ring for the 12th and final round for the ESPN Junior Lightweight Championship.
If there's anybody in this building who deserves praise more than these two, as much as these two fighters, it's Richard Steele.
Cordova waiting in. Roach just brawling back. There will be no problems of going to sleep tonight for either one of these boxers.
Last round for Tommy Cordova. I have him ahead by the slightest of margin, 105-104. And again, that's unofficial. It'll be interesting to see the scoring of this fight.
It also, of course, includes a 1-point deduction for a headbutt back in the 7th round. That's scoring by our expert, Al Bernstein, of course, totally unofficial here at ringside. But he has seen enough to be extremely close throughout the night so far. Huh?
And whichever fighter wins this fight, I'm sure the other camp will feel rightfully they could have won. So you have to almost expect that in this case.
Cordova and Roach. Oh, what a way to finish off top-rank box over both the left and the right eye. As we're halfway through the final round here in Las Vegas at the Showboat.
And you might want to mark that point. I think that probably Cordova won that first half of the round. Let's see what Freddie does in the second half. And often, the second half of the round is what lingers in judges' minds. So we'll see.
Both of the corners are sitting relatively calm right now, Al, as they seem to be quite confident that both of their fighters are doing what they want to here in the 12th. They, of course, are urging, but they seem rather confident that their fighter is doing what they need to do.
Both fighters in the 12th setting a tough pace. Cordova never been this distance. He is still throwing punches. A lot of them.
The 12th round is under a minute to go. Richard Steele talking to both fighters, asking Freddie Roach to drop that. Uh-oh. There'll be a tough one to score here as Roach and Cordova come to the final 10 seconds. The crowd urging one or the other on. The sentiments have turned to Roach near it. Cordova trying to answer with a glorious and there's the bell. They continue to fight after the bell. And the crowd on their feet here in Las Vegas.
And why not?
What a fight in Vegas tonight.
This crowd appreciative. We have to tell you something very important, and that is that if this fight is a draw, they will fight one round to try and break the draw. In ESPN title fights, that's the rule. We saw Terrence Ali and Melvin Paul stay in the ring with their gloves on. They're cutting the gloves off, and that is a mistake. Because
Richard Steele caught him, by the way.
Yeah, they started to cut the gloves off Freddie Roach, and that is a mistake because this fight could indeed go one more round.
Let's go into center ring for the decision on the championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. Judge Twain Ford scores 114 Cordova, 113 Roach. Judge Hal Miller scores 115 Roach, 113 Cordova. Paul Smith scores the bout 117, 111 for the winner by a split decision and new ESPN champion, Tommy Cordova.
So there it is. Tommy Cordova has defeated Freddie Roach here tonight for the ESPN Junior Lightweight Championship.
Cordova impressed viewers with the win, and the fight was voted as the Las Vegas Fight of the Year. He rose to number 8 in the rankings with talk of a shot at the IBF Junior Lightweight title, but Cordova remained undisciplined about his training and struggled against mediocre opposition. 2 months after the win over Roach, Cordova was knocked down twice by club fighter Ronnie Gary and lost a decision. Cordova felt that his toughness could override his lack of conditioning until he began fighting too often and getting hit too much. "That's the kind of fighter I was," Cordova said. "I had to take a lot of shots to get in. Everybody I fought had the reach on me. When they used to hit me, I'd laugh and throw them a kiss." In January of 1985, Cordova made another appearance on ESPN, this time stopping former amateur star Herbie Bevilacqua. 4 months later, he decisioned veteran Kelvin Seabrooks over 10.
Boy, it was just another day at the office for you, Tommy. The way it normally goes. This was a very typical Tommy Cordova fight. Maybe the only difference was you were so consistent in this fight, I think, that there was no way that you were going to lose it in the judge's eyes.
Well, I worked hard for it, and I had a hard time cutting the ring. Like, you got away with that, but I'm working on it, and pretty soon I'll be real sharp.
Cordova's team then decided it was better for him to drop down to the featherweight division. The fighter had now gone through numerous trainers, working with men like Joe Louis Murphy and former light heavyweight champion Bob Foster, both of whom left his camp under less than amicable circumstances. By September of 1985, Cordova was now trained by Rocky Stapleton, but conflicts continued in his training camp prior to a televised ESPN appearance against Baby Joe Ruelas. Tommy's father Joe argued daily with Stapleton over his training methods. Joe also argued with manager Jack Luce over Cordova's pre-fight diet. Joe wanted steak, Luce wanted pasta. Joe was also upset that Luce did not demand that a judge from New Mexico be used to score the fight after a California judge was appointed. The fight with Ruelas was close, but Cordova lost a majority decision. But Cordova won in losing. 3 months later, he was offered another ESPN date, this go around against top contender Stevie Cruz. If Cordova won, he'd be in line for a world title shot against WBA featherweight champion Barry McGuigan.
And Tommy Cordova did register a win after he lost to Baby Joe Ruelas, win over Tony Guido. He is 10th ranked by the WBA, and that is what Stevie Cruz is shooting for. Here comes Cordova, and that's not a surprise.
Not at all. He lands a big left hook. No damage done, but the left hook was in there.
Remember that the last time he was in this ring, when he fought Lenny Valdez back in 1984, Stevie Cruz was just ambushed. In the first round, Valdez came on and knocked him out, knocked him down twice, and then Richard Steele stopped the fight. Cruz is known as a slow starter. Do you think there's anything lingering in his mind, Sonny?
Perhaps so. Anytime you get off in that first round, you begin to think about what happened when you got knocked out in the first round the last time out, Al. One thing to his credit, he will say, well, this is not the same guy that stopped me, so I'm going to have to prove a point here tonight.
That is true, and I think most people would agree Cordova doesn't quite have the power of Lenny Valdez. That Cordova seldom gets knockouts. You look at his recent fights, you see that. 5 of his last 6 fights have gone to decision. Got a knockout over Jerry Campbell.
That was Stevie Cruz, an overhand right to the head of Cordova. He went down, but he grabbed the hold, Al, and so his glove did not touch the canvas, nor did his knee.
And you see the power of Cruz there. Many people wondered, could Tommy Cordova stand up to the punching of Cruz? Because Tommy takes a lot of punches. And Cordova, as always, getting hit with some shots early here, but he always gets hit. He just gives a lot in return.
If Cruz can find a home for that right hand, perhaps he can shake this man up.
Sonny, good lateral movements from Cruz early. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make Cordova miss.
Well, this is what we said earlier, Al, that this is what Cruz is going to have to do. Use that lateral movement. Go left, go right, stick and move, stick and move. Don't stand there and try to slug with him, but stick and move. If you get an opening, take advantage. I'm laid off for 6 months, so therefore I've got to protect myself.
Left hook by Cordova gets there. Well, this is shaping up as a typical Tommy Cordova fight. Maybe the only difference is Tommy was rocked here in this first round by Stevie Cruz. Fights all the time. He's had 8 fights in 1985. Wild with the right.
And Cruz is working his jab real well. Another right hand right there. Didn't do too much damage.
Left to the body. Now, the thing about Cordova is that people have hit him, they have even hurt him, but he always comes back, Sonny, and this kind of relentless pressure can give a fighter problems.
Yes, and it can discourage some guys, but right now I don't see any discouraging in Cruz.
Well, we've got a long way to go. This is the second round. It's scheduled for 10. Round, it was kind of a narrow escape for Tommy Cordova. He was nailed with that right hand. He's still here in the second, though. And he is nailing Stevie Cruz. Might have hurt him with the right hand.
And you got a 3-punch combination going, left, right again.
Cruz with the right hand. They think the next one might be the one where he really gets nailed. Cruz has hit him with some big shots. Tommy's still there, but he's taking a little bit of a pounding here in round 4.
And you must wonder, Al, how long will he stand up under that kind of treatment?
It's been going on for about 2.5 years now, and he always comes back. He is facing in Cruz a pretty good puncher. Halfway through the 4th.
And Cruz would like to be the guy that put a stop to him taking all those punches this night.
Good point. I guess everybody wants to be the one to do that, whether it's knock off the champion or end a winning streak or whatever.
That's right. The Dolphins had to be the ones to get it.
We're back to that again. Oh, Tommy Cordova gets nailed with the left hook.
Right now, his face is a bloody mark. Another right hand. His back is against the rope right now.
For the first time, I believe, in all the time we've watched Tommy Cordova, I do believe he's in some danger.
He looks a little unstable, Al.
A minute left to go in the 4th. It's been a bad round for Cordova. Good one for Cruz.
Step back, let's get out of there.
This is the kind of controlled fight I think everyone thought Cruz had to fight, Sonny.
And he's doing a good job of it, Al. And he said that he would be in control. Despite the layoff, he would be ready.
He has been sharp.
I didn't expect him to be as sharp as he is at this point after a 6-month layoff.
Scoring picture, Sonny. What do you have?
Right now, I have Cruz slightly ahead, 39-37. Listen, these guys are banging right now, Al.
That's for sure. Tommy Cordova came out in this round. They exhorted him. They said, you've got to really go after this guy. Look at the fire in Cordova.
And he's trying to maul and brawl, but Cruz will not have it. He's doing the same. He's doing it back.
Boy, no quitting Tommy Cordova. That certainly is true. Cordova pushed backwards. I don't think he was hurt just off balance. Tommy's getting in more shots in this round, but Cruz keeping his composure. Overhand right by Cordova.
No hitting on the break, both of you. Both of you. Let's go.
Cordova 23, Cruz is 22. They are at an interesting point in their careers. Both have labeled this the most important fight of their careers, and maybe rightfully so.
And it's correct, Al. And you know definitely that Tommy wants to hold on to his 10th rank, and he did not want to lose it. And Cruz would like to yank that from him tonight.
And almost as important, Tommy Cordova, who has suffered a couple of losses, the draws to Garcia. Some people feel another loss to a good fighter would really put him in the club fighter status.
And I think he's fighting desperately here to keep from being put in that status, Al. But if Cruz has anything to do with it at all, he's going to put him there.
Overhand right by Cordova, but Sonny, that right didn't do anything. Another one doesn't even hurt Cruz.
He just rolls with the punches.
Punch out of there. Hold this, punch out of there. That's it.
Good combination for Cruz. Another combination.
Stevie Cruz counterpunching extremely well.
Stevie Cruz come from a family of fighters, Al. His father was an amateur fighter, his uncle, and his grandfather fought a pro.
And his dad helps in the training along with Joe Barrentes. Of course, he is managed by David Gorman. The Gorman stable poised for what they hope will be a big moment on Friday when Donald Curry, the WBA welterweight champion, tries to unify the title. Right now, their concern is for Stevie Cruz, who is in a good battle with Cordova. Takes a right hand from Tommy.
And another right hand as they step back from the break.
Well, round 6 is gone, but hey, there's some good ones coming. Round 8 to face the buzzsaw, Tommy Cordova. Little Bull, they call him. And he is just that. But in this fight, he's run into a master counterpuncher in Stevie Cruz. The stars are out tonight. Boxing stars here. Saw Tommy Hearns. Oh, left hand sends Cordova down. He's hit while he's down by Cruz. Well, Stevie Cruz saw him on one knee and banged him again.
5, 9, 6, 7.
And right now, it's Cordova that's seeing stars.
All right. Let's box.
Tommy Cordova wearing down a bit here. Was nailed with what looked like a jab.
So a straight jab out. I saw once before early in the earlier rounds. There's a body, a left hook to the body that says.
I think Tommy Cordova has finally wound down. I really believe at this point. Now there is a 3 knockdown rule here in Las Vegas. One more knockdown, and it'll be over. Joey Curtis just changed his mind. Cordova talked him into continuing.
He's going to go for it now. He's throwing caution to the wind. And now what Cruz has to do is keep his composure and continue to bang like he's been stick and move, and drop that right hand if he gets a chance.
This is Tommy Cordova at his absolute best, in terms at least of his heart. He's been down twice here in the 8th round, fighting on guts alone, trying to come back. They bang heads. One more knockdown, it will be over. He had to talk Joey Curtis out of stopping this fight. He's fighting like a wild man, but how effective is he? He pushes Cruz back into the center of the ring.
And right now, Cruz looks as though he does not have it to put him away, Al.
Remember, one more knockdown could end it. And it was a body shot that sent Cruz or Cordova down earlier. There's a long time left to go in the round. Over a minute. Left hook by Cordova. This is Russian roulette for Tommy Cordova. One more knockdown and he will be out of the fight, but he is throwing caution to the wind.
There's a level. He wobbled a little bit there, Al.
Now that should be a push. If it's a knockdown, the fight's over.
That was a slip.
It's a slip. Joey rules it a slip. Now they will begin to fight again. But make no mistake, Cordova was hurt before he was pushed
indeed
down.
hurt before he got pushed down, Al.
But I think the appropriate ruling by Curtis.
Yes, and Cruz will have to refrain from hitting the man once he goes down.
Another body shot could end this if Cruz would go downstairs. Will Cordova make it through round 8? He's on borrowed time. And he holds.
And let's go again.
You cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round.
Hold it. Let's get out of there. Nice and easy. No hitting on the break. Come on.
Tommy Cordova's off the hook here in the 8th. What a round.
Oh, indeed.
Let's listen in.
Are you pissed off enough now? Are you pissed off enough now?
him to death.
Man.
You're mad.
Right, he's mad.
All right.
He's all right. Damn right he's mad now. That's how you feel.
We're tired of this
Mad.
stuff.
Pissed him off. You beat him to death.
Let's fuck him up now.
There's water.
Water. A lot of water.
Well, it's not always pretty in boxing, and they're trying to motivate Tommy Cook to the body. Round 9, Cordova runs after Stevie Cruz. Cordova, of course, had a terrible 8th round, except in the sense that he did survive, and he came back like a maniac for the last minute and a half of the round.
Cruz didn't lose his composure in that round, Al, but then he did get a little lethargic. He did not do what I thought he would do after he got the man hurt and had a chance to win the fight with one more knockdown.
You know, history repeated itself. We were here in April when Brett Summers fought Chris Calvin. Summers had been down twice in a round and was knocked down a third time. Joey Curtis was the referee. Curtis ruled it a slip. The fight continued. Same thing happened here tonight. In both cases, of course, you can argue with Curtis's interpretation. In any case, both were close calls.
Very close.
You have to say a lot for Tommy Cordova's staying power. He looked all but out of it in the 8th round.
Oh, you would have thought the man was going to be counted out any moment, Al. The recuperative powers, they're enormous for this man.
Well, in some ways, it's a curse for him because it's allowing him to take a lot more punishment. He's coming back in this fight. He's never stopped punching, but you have to wonder if he still can win this fight.
And then with a bigger punch, a guy that has bombs in both hands, what will happen to
He's faced some good punchers like Jimmy Jackson.
Yeah, well, that's true.
and some other people. So he stood up against some people who can bang. Stevie Cruz is hit him with some excellent shots. Round 9, it's scheduled for 10. It looked for all the world like it would end in the 8th round, but it didn't. Another jab. Cordova's hurt. You can make a case for stopping this fight.
You know, Al, I think maybe he acts as though when that jab pops in there, as though his nose may be broken. As if he can't take that jab on the nose.
5.
You may well have a point, Sonny.
7. You're all right. 8. Let's box.
Joey Curtis lets it go on. Well, Cordova now is going on his bicycle. This is a sign that Tommy Cordova not ready to mix it up. He has never backed up in a fight. Very seldom.
You look at the blood that's gushing. I don't know if it's coming from his mouth or his nose.
Gary, he almost goes down again. Yeah. And you know, I think you may be right, Sonny. That nose may be broken. We don't know for sure, obviously. But the way that jab is sending him down, he's in trouble. Curtis has got to stop this fight.
It's got to be over, Al.
It's over.
Tommy's father Joe was livid after the defeat, blaming manager Luce for Tommy's lack of conditioning. Joe sent press releases to all 3 Albuquerque TV stations, stating that Luce had performed poorly as his son's manager, failing to meet all requirements while attempting to divide Tommy from his family. He also stated that Luce refused to pay $200 in boxing-related medical bills. Tommy apparently told several people 3 days before the fight that he wasn't in shape and couldn't win it, Luce said. If I'd known that, there's no way I would have let him fight. But he didn't tell me. All he said to me was that he was really ready and was ready to kill Cruz. Joe replaced Luce with Stan Love, but it was too little too late for Tommy's career. Local sports writer Pete Ryan wrote, quote, "The reality is that Tommy Cordova does not have the natural talent to win a title. He does have an exciting style and plenty of heart, however, and that probably is what swept us all in." Cordova now began losing on a regular basis, descending into journeyman status. After losing a decision to Tony Lopez, his boxing license was suspended in the state of California after he performed poorly on a battery of neurological tests. Cordova continued to smoke and drink heavily. "I had to smoke a cigarette before every fight," Cordova said. "My hands would shake. I wanted a cigarette as soon as I got out. I didn't care." Cordova went on a 5-bout losing streak in 1986, now fighting only sporadically. In 1992, he returned to the sport after being inactive for over a year. Overweight and out of shape, he was floored and stopped in his final 2 contests, with his last opponent, Courtney Hooper, marveling at how Cordova didn't want to go down. 5 years after that final bout, Cordova was now divorced and broke, dependent on a girlfriend named Sandy Davis. "I can't work," Cordova said. "I got hurt from boxing. I kept my ESPN belt. That's about all I got." Unemployed, he spent his days killing time by hanging out at the convenience store where Davis worked. "When you become yesterday's news," Cordova said, "you're forgotten quickly. That can be more painful than any punch for someone who has learned to love the spotlight. In October of 2000, the 38-year-old Cordova was arrested and charged with criminal sexual contact of a minor. An 11-year-old girl told sheriff deputies that she had been staying at her babysitter's house, which was Cordova's residence. She had brought a VHS tape of the movie Grease to watch, but discovered that the VCR in the front room was broken. Cordova then invited her to watch the movie in his bedroom. Once the girl was inside, Cordova began asking her lewd questions and touched her underneath her bra. The girl made an excuse to leave and ran to a neighbor's house where police were called. Cordova's side of the story was that the girl was watching the movie, but once he realized her caretaker was not with her, he decided to throw her out of his room. When deputies arrived, Cordova refused to get down on the floor and had to be forcibly subdued. By 2002, it was reported that Cordova was living off of disability. He suffers from slurred speech and has difficulty walking, spending his days watching TV. "I had to fight to pay the rent," Cordova said. "I love to fight. It's all I've been able to do."